Hi everyone. I'd like to start by thanking the Dialogues team, Nina, Sanjay, Ridhima, and the entire the wonderful team that has been so helpful and patient with all of us. I'm going to talk about this little project which is very close to my heart. I first did this restaurant in 1998, 26 years ago, and it somehow stood the test of time. And they came back saying they wanted to revamp. At the same time, they didn't want to lose, the essence of the space. So also, of course, as all restaurant projects go, there was a timeline. We had to knock it off in less than 2 months. There was a budget. So I'm just going to quickly take you through. So that's the entrance, the entrance door, which was, I had just come back from a trip to Spain in 98, and so a lot of the ironwork is inspired by Gaudi, which we all did on site back in those days. So we removed everything, restored it, put it back. Thankfully, it had stood the test of time. Gallops is very close to the Racecourse and also very close to the sea. So in a way, I was surprised that all the iron had lasted so many years. These were some photos taken just before we renovated. So the flooring, it was a parquet flooring which was starting to come off. Most of the wood had been repolished multiple times and was just looking black. You couldn't see the wood. Curtains that we had put up, back in the day, multiple changes in the upholstery. It was all looking a little bit worn down. So we were really scratching our heads with what to do. That's the bar. They needed to revamp the bar. There was some vastu where the bar, it was a sunken bar, had to be brought up to regular height. We tried to fight that a lot, but it was something the clients wanted. And now we have Gallops 2.0. So this is a view from the bar, which kind of shows the entire restaurant. We redesigned the lights. I'd done the lights again. I mean, we had custom made them the first time. We did the same thing again. We changed the entire flooring. All the wood was stripped down, all the polish removed. We used some of the product we heard about yesterday, which barely makes the wood look polished. So everything was fresh. All the window treatments were gone. We bought in, we had a lot of mahogany veneer the first time around. So we got rid of that. We got rid of the curtains, to bring in the greenery which was already there. It's one of the few restaurants where you're barely 10 feet from the track itself. So that we wanted to remove anything, any kind of barrier between the restaurant and the track. So we got rid of the curtains. There was a lot of detail that went into the table placements, the uniforms. This is my favorite part. So we completely revamped the bar area, made it far more cozy. A lot of what you see here is Shreya's work. very painstakingly curated from the antique shops. We try to bring in a lot of memorabilia from the 1900s. We found out who were the original architects of some of the pavilions at the racecourse. So there's this company called Minochair, Ditchburn, and Bedwar. We contacted one of the descendants of Minochair Mystery, I think his granddaughter, and we managed to find some of these old, lovely hand-drawn elevations, options for the stands, and a lot of other memorabilia like, horseshoes of Derby winners. We found photographs in the RWITC archives of Queen Victoria's visit. So those grace the wall as well. Signed memos and menus of many, many patrons who've come to Gallops over the years. This one's M.F. Hussain. The light you see, again, these are all, vintage sourced from the various antique shops. We paid a lot of attention to all the details. We made coasters out of horseshoes, little candle tea lights made out of stirrups, a wine rack, again made out of horseshoes. That's the new bar that we did. We kept the stone wall wasn't there when I did it the first time, so it was put up in that 45-day period. So this time around, we played a lot with the lighting, and it's kind of, we made it more prominent. And yeah, so that's Gallops 2.0. Thank you.